This moment is all that I've been dreaming of.
Well, focus.
Somewhere I feel it in my soul. One chance is everything we've waited for. It's our time, so let me take it home and knock it out of this world.
Yeah, let's start with cricket on the SportsMax Zone for this Thursday. We are 23 days away from the start of the T20 World Cup, and preparations are progressing and in some instances being finalized. 10 venues across 6 Caribbean countries and 3 US states are set to host the tournament, which runs from the 1st of June to the 29th of the month. The final is set for Kensington Oval in Barbados. Cricket West Indies CEO Johnny Grave joins us to give an update on the readiness. Johnny, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. Always great to have you on our show, sir. People are getting excited. We spoke to Hayley Matthews, the West Indies women's captain, live on our show yesterday, Johnny, and she's excited about the men's team. She thinks they have so many match winners that she thinks they can win the title. Your thoughts on the tournament, first of all, preparation-wise, before a quick comment on how do you feel about the West Indies and their chances?
Yeah, look, it is getting exciting. It's certainly getting very real. As you know, we got awarded this event back in November 2021. So for 2.5 years, we've been planning this event, and we're down to just 23 days to go now before the opening matches in Dallas for the first game on the Saturday night, and then at Providence in Guyana, where we'll open up our campaign. So it's getting very real. The preparations are continuing at a pace, and we're looking forward to welcoming the world to the Caribbean and for what's going to be the biggest sporting event that's ever been staged in the region, and from an ICC and cricket perspective, the biggest ever World Cup with 20 teams from across the world, best players coming to play in the most popular format, which is the T20 version of the game. In terms of our preparation, that starts here in Antigua on Sunday with about half of the official squad coming together with some reserve players to have a weeks-long performance camp before we head to Jamaica for 3 T20s against South Africa. And then we'll make our way down to Trinidad for a warm-up game against Australia, and then over to Guyana for the opening fixture. So it's getting very real. We've got very detailed plans both for the West Indies men's team to be able to go and try and win that 3rd record title. And from a general organisational perspective, this is sort of the final few furlongs to go now. We've got a lot of planning in place and a lot of work still to be done to make sure that when the first ball is bowled on the 2nd of June in Guyana, from a West Indies perspective, that we're completely ready. Yeah,
I like the term you just used there, Johnny. A few furlongs to go. Today's a horse racing at the track day on the SportsMax Zone, as you might be well aware. But you did say part of the West Indies squad assembles in Antigua this weekend to begin some preparation. What about the other teams? How quickly will some of these other teams globally be arriving in the Caribbean and the USA to start their own preparations?
Yeah, they're starting to assemble over probably the next 10 days. We've got about 4 teams that are going into St Kitts for training camps, acclimatisation, and some, additional warm-up matches that they'll be playing at Warner Park. We've got some teams as well going into the United States for similar things. Obviously, a number of the squads, particularly amongst the top teams, are without players at the moment who are still participating in the IPL, but we're getting towards the latter stages there. So, there's lots of teams coming in. We've also got Nepal, I think, who are going to St Vincent next week. We've obviously been there with a strong A team to give those players that haven't been playing in the IPL some more white ball cricket. So, yeah, lots of activity happening. And as I say, I think it will really step up from a Cricket West Indies perspective come Sunday when the team are here in Antigua. And obviously, over the last few weeks, we've seen the excitement build, particularly with the song being launched on the 1st of the month, and those box offices opening across the 6 host countries. So people who haven't bought tickets online have been able to go and buy tickets at the box offices in those host countries. Yeah, and as you oversee the process, Johnny, can you give us a rating, probably say of 1 to 10, about the readiness of all the venues on a consensus scale or a complete scale, the state of readiness for match venues throughout the Caribbean? Yeah, I think in terms of the playing facilities, which is really important, in terms of the match venues, we're exactly where we want to be.
Okay.
Obviously not quite anticipating the amount of rain that we've had here in Antigua over the last 48 hours, but we're certainly ready from a match venue perspective. There's still a bit of work being done with the practice match venues, but again, that's all on track. You're showing now that the New York venue that's now got grass on it, and the wickets have safely made their way from South Florida into Nassau County. So that stadium is on track and going to have a couple of test events over the next 10 days, followed by, again, a warm-up game when India will play Bangladesh on Saturday, the 1st of June. So, yeah, lots going on. I'd say, generally speaking, on the field, we're absolutely on track, and no major injury concerns, which is always something that we're conscious of. And then from a stadium perspective, I would say a huge amount of work has been done, massive investment from our governments in facilities, and yeah, all of those are on track. I think probably some grounds have had more work than others, but again, we're a good state. I would say we're at 80% readiness across all the stadiums, and yeah, probably closer to 95 when it comes to the actual playing surfaces and outfields. And yeah, hopefully Mother Nature will be kind to us over the next few months few weeks, and definitely through the month of June.
Yeah, hoping for that. You know, June in the Caribbean is known as rain time, but let's hope that, of course, the rain stay away and those doing the work, Johnny, can get that done. I just want to one follow-up on what Lance asked about the venues, about Kensington Oval, because it's so important to everybody, especially because that's where the final will be held. So any special treatment where Kensington Oval is concerned, and what's the update on that particular venue with regards to work being done?
Yeah, we've got a team in Kensington now. They flew yesterday, and yeah, the feedback, everyone's been massively impressed. There's been huge investment by the Barbados government in upgrading Kensington Oval, both in terms of the facilities, the capacity in terms of new stands for fans, and a general upgrade, particularly in the media centre and the players' dressing room. So Kensington, I don't think, has ever looked better, according to the team that reported back to me a few hours ago. And yeah, it's certainly going to be a fitting venue for the final of this huge event.
Right, and news has been making the headlines for, I believe, part of last week and all of this week about this terror threat that, of course, security plans have been put in place to ensure that that does not happen. Johnny, can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, look, we've got some of the best security advisors that advise ICC and ourselves in managing this event. We're obviously in very close contact with intelligence agencies here in the Caribbean and across the world. Clearly, there's a lot of unrest happening in parts of the world outside of the Caribbean. But yeah, look, it's something with events of this nature and size, you know, with billions watching, there's always going to be incidents and reports that come through. And we deal with those on a case-by-case basis. And we've got some of the best experts in the world advising us on the protocols to mitigate, but also in terms of the threats that come through. So, yeah, it's something that we've become accustomed to in running major events. It's something that we take very, very seriously. The safety of fans, spectators, and the host countries is obviously of paramount importance. But yeah, we're getting very good reports, and I'm very confident that the security plans that we have in place will ensure the safety of spectators, players, and all the host venues.
Yes, security, very, very important when it comes to hosting big events like the World Cup. The only way, though, Johnny, we can judge the fans' excitement right now will be through ticket sales, other than word of mouth on the street, of course. How has that been going?
Yeah, I think we're on track. We've sold about 180,000 tickets to date. About 5,000 have been shifted over the last week or so since those box offices opened. Certainly when the West Indies team congregate here on the weekend and start their preparation plans, we expect again that the excitement just to continue to build as players come back from the IPL. I think more and more people are starting to focus on the event and wanting to participate and get involved. And clearly once the teams arrive, the excitement is going to continue. So we're confident that the matches are going well. We're launching a massive schools campaign supported by all the ministries of education to ensure that all the school children at primary and secondary schools across the host countries get the opportunity to attend matches. And we're very hopeful that, the World Cup vibe is going to continue to build and grow, and those ticket sales are going to continue to build over the next few weeks as we get closer to the match days.
Yeah, Johnny, there was a notification that I saw on the media accreditation that I just wanted some clarity on the issue, because journalists being accredited to the T20 Cricket World Cup are being asked, as you would expect, to go through the accreditation process. But one of the parts of the accreditation process says if you're a CARICOM national or resident working in one of the 6 West Indies venues and will be in a restricted area, media broadcast, hospitality, field of play, you will need to upload a valid copy of a police clearance certificate. I'm not quite sure if I've ever seen that requirement for a accreditation for the media. Could you first of all confirm that this is something new or not, and exactly what it means?
Yeah, it's certainly new for us in the Caribbean in 2018 and 2022 when we hosted ICC events. Most recently, that wasn't a requirement, but it's one of the new security protocols that has come in place across ICC global events, and it will affect anyone that's seeking accreditation in those restricted areas of the players and match officials or the media centres. So obviously the international media have already submitted their applications for accreditation and started to book their travel. They've gone through a similar vetting process, and obviously that's part of the visa process for a number of them too. So it's a new requirement for us in the Caribbean when we've hosted in November. It's not new for ICC events under their accreditation and safety and security protocols.
Okay, I guess the part that bothered some of our fraternity would be, if you are a CARICOM national or resident, which, sort of inferred that it was directed at CARICOM, but you are suggesting that the international media people would have already gone through that process as well in their visa requirements and their accreditation process as well. So you've cleared that up. But I want to go back quickly then, Johnny, to the colossal status of this tournament, because correctly it's been pointed out that this is the biggest ICC World Championship in history, because 20 teams are going to be taking part. What does this mean though for Cricket West Indies? I know that you are overseeing the process on behalf of the ICC, but what does this mean for a region, especially in a phase when the West Indies is struggling to keep its identity as a world power in cricket?
Well, I think it represents a massive opportunity for all of us, not just Cricket West Indies and the players, but also for the entire region to showcase itself over the course of the month of June to the world. The TV audience and the interest in cricket is growing exponentially year on year. So cricket is without a shadow of a doubt the second biggest sport in the world. This is arguably the biggest event that the ICC hosts. T20 cricket is now exploded throughout the world, is the most popular format. So it's a huge opportunity for us to demonstrate through the TV coverage and everything that will be happening across all the different countries that the West Indies is a fantastic place, not just to play and watch cricket, but also to do business and to live and operate. So it's a massive opportunity for the region. I think it's a great opportunity for us to showcase all of our talent on and off the field, particularly that we can run these major events. We can welcome fans into the countries that we have, and we have fantastic facilities in terms of hotels and infrastructure and everything else that we enjoy. So it's a big opportunity in that sense. I think for Cricket West Indies, it's going to be interesting because partly obviously we're all desperate for the team to do well. We're also desperate for the event to go well. So we've got those two things, and then as you rightly said, unfortunately, with the 20-team World Cup, it's going to be a bit too exciting for us administrators because there's going to be some big teams playing against the so-called minnows, and we all know that there's no such thing as an easy game of international cricket, and that shorter T20 format really does level the playing field. If we have a bit of bad weather and the matches are shortened even further, then there can become a bit of a lottery. So it's probably going to be a bit too exciting for us, but hopefully for fans, there'll be plenty of close matches, big finishes, and these group stages, only 2 teams go through. So there's some big teams that will miss out on the Super 8s. And then really it is just trying to get into the semi-finals. And from there, it's obviously anyone's game. But we've won it twice. We know what it takes. We've had disappointing campaigns for the last 2 T20 World Cups. And we're hoping that with home soil and with all the detailed planning and preparation we've put in place, and the fact that all of our fans are going to come out and really rally behind not just the West Indies but the whole tournament and the sport, that it's a great opportunity for us to, to revive cricket at all levels and use this as a massive catalyst and platform for a period of change where we hope that cricket will get back to the top of everyone's agenda, the top of everyone's discussions in the bars and restaurants and offices of our Caribbean territories, and that the team can do the region proud. And we're really confident that we've got a team that can beat anyone in the world, and we just got to hope and pray that they execute their skills, and if we need a bit of luck, it falls on the Maroon shoulders and not on the opposition.
Yeah, and quickly, I couldn't let you leave, Johnny, without asking you about this, because of course we're focusing on the Caribbean hosting, but the USA is hosting as well, and this is unprecedented for cricket in North America at this level. So there has been an explosion of cricket in the USA, and I remember a couple of weeks ago it was a part of the discussion during your CWI CARICOM symposium on cricket at the Hyatt Regency in TNT. As a CWI executive, do you think the explosion of T20 cricket in the USA and the investment that the Americans are putting in the sport offers a significant threat to Caribbean cricket?
No, I don't think so. I think we view it very much as an opportunity. We're the full member with 100 years of history in the West Indies. We take our leadership role in this region of the Americas very seriously. We think that the opportunity to grow the sport, not just in the US, but also Canada and Central America and South America. And you may have heard us in the conference talking about the opportunity that the LA Olympics represents to the sport in this region. And certainly from our perspective, we're hoping to get cricket into the Caribbean and Central American Games, the Pan Am Games in 2027. And, multi-sport games, I think, is going to be something that cricket, for both the men's version and female version of the game, is going to become more commonplace. And I think that the growth of the sport in the US is a positive for West Indies cricket if it's managed and assisted well. And the US is already probably our 4th biggest TV market, and I only see that growing, and that will no doubt help and assist us as we're looking to fund the sport as much as we can, from grassroots all the way up to that international arena.
Yeah, well, Johnny, always great talking to you here on the SportsMax Zone as we close in on this massive T20 World Cup coming up at the start of June. We'll continue to be contacting you regarding all stories concerning the T20 World Cup. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir, and we'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Johnny Grave there. He's the CEO of Cricket West Indies, and they are all getting ready for the ICC T20 World Cup.
I'm getting ready too. Did I tell you?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Break time, back in a moment. Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know, sweetheart.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
Is that real?
आप लोगों को नजर आ रहे हैं?
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous.
It's gone a long way!
Oh, look at this. Big hit.
T20 World Cup. We got to check this out.